Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Ben Jones, aka Visual Dreams on Instagram. Decided that today I would do kind of a tutorial poster on how I make some of my grunge effects on Photoshop, as you've probably seen on my Instagram page. I've never done anything like this before, so bear with me on my awkwardness and some glitches that might happen, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. Maybe you guys can learn something. That'd be awesome if I could help you out. I'd be stoked to do that. So, yeah, let's get going with it. So first off, let's look up kind of like what grunge is. If any of y'all don't know, grunge is just kind of like dirty. Came about in the early mid 1980s. With bands like Nirvana and stuff in like the northwest of America. You can see here on Wikipedia what it has to say about it, but pretty much when it comes to like aesthetic, it's just like dirty, grungy, like it says, dark, edgy, depicted with glitches, vinyl records, cigarettes, things like that. So what I'm gonna do actually is go to my Instagram, and I was looking through at some stuff, and there was one I really liked. So this one, I did this one back in July. I really like how everything kind of lines up. It's pretty grungy. So I decided I'm gonna kind of take some like the main idea from this and do kind of a little tutorial for y'all, show you how just kind of my process works, and maybe I can learn something as well, because I have to talk out loud about it, so it's kind of different. I'm not used to talking about what I'm doing, just normally go for it, so it'll be interesting. Yeah, so what I'm basically going to do is just take the poster idea from the top here and integrate it somehow. I don't really know what I'm gonna do beyond that, but we'll see, I guess. So let's just jump right into it. I'm on Photoshop 2020 18 by 24 layout. That's how big I do my posters. Always make them that big, just in case I do ever print them out. They'll be actual size. Don't ever make it like 18 inches by 20, or excuse me, like, 18 pixels by 24 pixels or something crazy like that, because when you blow it up it's going to get all pixelated, so don't do that. But what I'm going to do is take the type tool. Well, first let's go to the new guide layout. Let's do 3 columns, make a 9 square grid. I'm going to do 1-inch margins probably. And then 9-inch grid's good. There's a lot of speculation in design about grids and everything, but I like the 9 square because 9's an integer of 3 and 6, and those are just good, like Fibonacci sequence type numbers, just good for design. So I'm just gonna take that. We'll just write poster, good spacing, maybe, what is it, -25, turn that to auto, should be on there already. Alright, this is the fucked up part. Cut this out. Alright, go. So that should be on there already. So, let's see what it looks like. And maybe we'll put it like that. Make that a little bigger. That's fine. We're gonna stretch it out. I'm not supposed to do that either, but we're gonna do it. So I'm just gonna convert that to a shape. I'm gonna drag that out I'm gonna hold down Alt Option. Bring that out to the line. Just bring it out here so it lines up. And then I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to line that up right at the top of the T because I'm going to duplicate it and bring it down here, and that way I can line them up. See, so that's pretty lined up. Then I'll just click both of them, transform, bring them up, hide that, and then let's do one more down here. And the reason I like this, y'all, so much is because the way the poster just lines up. It's got nice horizontal lines, nice round characters, and everything just lines up. It's pleasing for the eye, I guess. And we can do some fun things in between these now. This is pretty much all I'm gonna do for this portion. What I do next is I'm gonna print it out on my computer, on my printer rather, just on regular old 8.5 by 11 paper, and then I'm gonna scan it a few times to get some texture there, and some distortion effects. I'm gonna scan all those into the computer, and then I'm gonna take it and I'll show you guys how I like grunge it up a little bit with just things around the house, honestly, on the floor, stuff like that. So let me get this thing hooked up to the computer and I'll show you guys all that. Alright, so I'm just gonna go up here, print, got my Epson Eco Tank 750, just got it, awesome printer so far. Go to settings, make sure everything's alright. Yeah, the border looks good. Then we'll go to print. Oh, I'm gonna have to resize this. Whoops. Go to new. Need 8.5 by 11. There we go. What I'll do is I'll just make that a group. I'm gonna duplicate it. Merge those layers. Then take your whatever that tool is called, marquee tool. Take that, layer view cut, so you get all that scrap out of there. And then we'll duplicate that layer into that new layer we just made that's 8.5 by 11, which is the size of the paper we're gonna print on. It's gonna be way bigger because that was 18 by 24, but we'll just scale that back so it fits. Put that in the middle. It's gonna be a little bit off, but for what we're gonna be doing, it'll be fine. Then we can go to print. On the Epson, here print. Show you the Epson here. It's the Eco Tank, it's awesome. Just fill up cartridges in there. No regular tanks. So this is printing that out on just regular 8.5 by 11 paper. It's pretty fast. got that. I think it's right. It's a little high, but we'll make do with it. Alright, so I'm gonna go cut this computer screen off. So now we're gonna take this printed paper that we just printed. We're gonna scan it. I'm not gonna scan it on the Epson. I have a better scanner. That one's kind of small. I'll show you. Yeah, it's just like, it's like 8.5 by 11, so you can't really slide it or do anything fun. So we're gonna go to the HP. Gonna go entire scan area. We're gonna do 300 DPI. And I wish this was closer. We're gonna look like a madman running back and forth. But once this gets going, I'm gonna have to drag that across. So I have to run. Here we go. Hopefully it doesn't scan twice. Go back over here, see what we got. Not too bad. I'm gonna try to get that bottom part a little better. So I gotta add page, and sprint back over there. So don't care about that top part right now. I want to get this bottom part there. So see, we drag that out the scanner. The longer you drag it, obviously the blacker it's going to be on the image. So we'll go add. We'll do a couple more of these. Excuse me. So you see, the more like wavy you get, kind of gets a little bit more all over the place. So I'm gonna do a couple more of these. I'm not gonna record all of these, but I'll probably do like 10 to 15 of these, and it's just random. I'll just keep doing it until I get something I like. And it's just, like I said, it's just random. It's just dragging it across. After I do that, picked up this cool field guide in New Mexico on my vacation. Past couple weeks, I've been traveling across America. Picked this up. It's got some pretty nice worn out textures in it, so I'm probably going to scan something out of it as well to use as a texture on a poster. So I'm going to get these all scanned up, and I will meet you back at the computer. Now that we scanned the original print that we did on the scanner, it's already going to be a little bit grungy because the scanner's got dirt and stuff on it, which I don't care, I like that. So what we're going to do next we don't need the computer. We're actually gonna take the piece of paper that we printed out and we're gonna grunge it up a bunch, and then we're gonna scan it back into the computer, and that's gonna be our kind of main image we're gonna use before we start adding layers into Photoshop. So let's get out of the computer real fast. And we will begin that. So I have the poster here. We printed it out on the printer that we were scanning. Haven't done anything to it yet. So I've got some tools here, as you can see, and I'm just gonna kind of start getting a little grunge effects going on with it. So I might just take it, crumble it up like that. Already have some dirt on my hands. This is compressed charcoal powder. That's what I use to kind of get those smoky, grungy effects. I'm gonna try to make this kind of vertical, I think. I really like these typography letters. The stems on them kind of make it seem a little longer than it is, especially with it running off the page like this. So I think I'm gonna try to extenuate that. And then it's got these round ones as well. So I'm thinking maybe do some type of like wavy, organic, thing in between here. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's hard to talk about because I'm used to just kind of doing it and not talking about it. So let's see what we can come up with. So I'm just going to take my finger, get in that compressed charcoal powder. I'm going to start with the T here. Just want to get some of that going right there. And then I think I'm just going to start. Let's see. Where's my rag? So do that. I like using the little teeth on the tape. Kind of grinding this one all the way down, but the teeth on the tape, I'm gonna drag that. Sorry, bad sound, but it makes a pretty cool effect. And then there's a rip, that's fine. This is grunge, so it's kind of just whatever happens, happens. Can't really plan for it to happen. You can kind of push something along one way or the other, but you're not gonna get it exactly how you want it in your head, so kind of just gotta go with the flow. I got some charcoal pencils here. Let's sharpen that up real fast. It's tan. Here's a white. This is kind of like mud brick color. I just start to play with the black, different colors. Might take some white, and then might take this as well. Maybe scrape some of the ink off from the printer. Start to get some of that distress look. Might get a rip right there. I take some white. It's all about you, what you want to do, however you're feeling. Get those emotions out of there, onto the paper. Better on the paper than in your head. So like I said, I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I'm just going to continue to work on this. Might speed it up a little bit so you don't have to watch the whole process, but when I get to another important step, I'll stop it and slow it down and show you guys what I'm up to. So pretty much with grunge, the dirtier you get it, the better it's gonna look, right? So I'm going to, I kind of made a boo-boo. I don't really like how much black I put up there. Not enough negative space, so I'm gonna get some vellum and cover that up. Because with this type of stuff, it's better just to keep rocking with it than to restart. You just cover that up with some vellum real fast. And it'll help add to the aesthetic. So turn those mistakes into happy ones, as Bob Ross would say. So I think that looks kind of nice. I'm just gonna tape that there. If I can find my tape, I'll be right back. Found the tape. So I'm going to take some tape and I'm just going to start taping this vellum over top of the paper. Wasn't planning on doing this, but here we are. Made a mistake. Something turned out the way I didn't want it to, but with grunge like this, it's better just to keep on keeping on. And I like the way it turned out so far. This vellum is going to be nice. So you don't have to add layers in Photoshop. With everything you can make it by hand. And it's going to add that much more depth once you throw it into Photoshop. And you can do a lot more things with it, as I'll show you later in the video. So once I get this in Photoshop, that's where the magic happens for me. So I'm going to keep on messing with this. I got that vellum down. I keep taping it up. Let's see. I'll get some more charcoal. Start laying it over maybe a piece of that tape. Maybe a little bit up here too. Look like I'm just pressing it down. Maybe that was an accident. And I've got some, we don't have letter set here, but we got Hobby Lobby. And they have little stick-on adhesive letters, which I guess is the same thing. Would love to get my hand on some letter set. If anybody has some, want to send it to me, I'll be glad to take it off your hands. So, here it is. Just a big old sticker pad with letters on it. So, I'm gonna, what poster is this, 120? I might get some 120 letters going. Let's see my scapula. There it is. So I might just put this over top right here. Maybe move it down a little so it's not taking up that spot. So put these letters in. A little about me, I went to school at Virginia Tech for architecture. The architecture program there is very hands-on, so I've picked up a lot of little techniques and stuff in architecture school with hands-on, so I just love working with hands-on, so much more satisfying, and you can just do whatever is in your head. You don't have to figure it out. Just experimentation. Getting messy. So I'll put that there. Poster 120. Then I might get some random letters from the poster, P-O-S-T-E-R, and kind of just stick them randomly wherever wherever I want to, basically. Might put a P here. Might spell out poster. Might look nice. Put a P-O. And then I might get some bigger ones. Have some bigger letters in here. I don't know, that might be too much. Oh, I like this period. I might put that somewhere. It's a big black square. Let's see. Kind of like it here. This S. I put it over top of this. So as we can see already, what I talked about, what I was trying to do is already kind of out the window. I've already started kind of digressing for that, so you can see how that happens. I usually make these pretty fast. This is kind of a longer one. Probably about to be done with it, honestly. Don't want to do too much. I want to get into Photoshop and start messing around with it. I think we got kind of a good thing going on here on the page. I like it. Super grungy, dirty. Just random stuff going on. Maybe we'll take this piece of vellum. And cut a little piece out of it to put somewhere. I might put it like right there. So I'm gonna take that and just double that up. I think. Double that up like that. Let's get some tape. Just casually tape that down. Not worried about layout, anything like that. Just visualizing everything as we go along. So I might take a piece of a big letter and put it on somewhere. But maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it and we'll put it in Photoshop. But there's one thing I want to do that I usually do to get kind of a cool grunge effect. Just put a little bit of charcoal powder right here. And I'm going to take this and I take the tape probably dark. Put the light on that fast. So I'll take that and drag it across the floor. Our floor's got some sand on it. So I'm going to take a little bit more charcoal powder, grunge that S up. So now we got some nice grunginess going on the poster. Might take this, just look like scribble it out or something. Maybe not too much. This is just that white charcoal pencil. Try to get a little rip in the vellum. Now I'm going to take some white paint and pouring medium. And start to pour a little bit of that on here. This is just pouring medium. Make it a little bit more liquidy. Kind of looks like water. Maybe someone put water in there. There we go. So it's kind of like bluey purple looking. Let's zoom in for this part a little bit. Oh, maybe not. Just put a little bit of white paint on there. Just a little piece of paper, something to stir it up with. Pour your mediums on there. See it kind of taking effect already. Mix it with the white paint. that's what we've done so far to this poster before we put it into Photoshop. I'm gonna take a piece of paper and just kind of start nudging that around. Maybe make it go up a little bit. Might be a little bit too much white. We can fix that in a second. Let me get a close up here. You can see how the pouring medium mixes with white paint and gives you a nice marbled effect. Always do that. Always throw down some white because you'll be able to see it a lot when we put it into Photoshop. That's what's going to give you that nice, like, melted, wet, grungy texture. So I'm going to play around with this a little bit more, y'all. I'm going to scan it, get it back in the computer, scan it just like this, and I'll meet y'all back in Photoshop. Back on the computer, got everything scanned up. Right now we're listening to some Soul Juice. Shout out to him. Check him out on Spotify. Play some pretty groovy stuff. He always is nice and comments on my Instagram posts, so I appreciate him for that. So we're going to go back to the Photoshop file. That's a printed one, so don't need that anymore. We'll just delete that. That's the rasterized one. Might use it, so keep that handy. So label that original. Go to our scans. What I'm going to do first is get the dirty one. This is what we ended up with. So this is the fun part when we put it on Photoshop. My favorite part. So we did all this stuff by hand. Sorry if this is such a long video, just wanted to be in depth as possible. Show you guys how I do it. I know finding stuff like this is sometimes hard to find even on like YouTube and stuff, so that's why I want to share with you guys kind of my process. And it helps me too, having to talk about it out loud, I guess. So I'm gonna kind of have to stretch this to get it back in there. Because remember when we printed it, we had to change it a little, so it's a little bit warped, not too bad. So we'll just put these in, maybe leave a little white edge there. Let's see what scratch discs are doing. Okay, let's take it off of that. Okay, so this is what we have that we did. This is a scan of it that we messed around with analogically. Put some dirt, charcoal powder, poured medium white paint, scraped it up a bunch, put some fake letters on there, some sticker letters. So this is what we started with, printed that out, that's what we have now. All analog, no computer. But this is where the fun part comes in. So I'm gonna do grunge scan, duplicate that. I'm gonna save an original one just in case. So I'm gonna rasterize this. I'm gonna select this part we ripped because I use black backgrounds for my Instagram posts. So I'm going to make this black back here, so it will look like it's ripping through on my Instagram. Alright, I'm just gonna fill that with a black layer. Just select it. Cool. Looks not perfect, but we'll fix it in a little. So I'm going to take the original and put it over top of that. See how everything's lined up. It's not going to be lined up right. I already know that. So I'm going to take this. I have to cut it. Bring that down. It doesn't have to line up perfectly. Probably going to make it not line up on purpose at some point, but I want to get everything to where it's supposed to be starting off. As close as I can get it. That's pretty close. Okay, so that's what we have. I want to put this adjustment layer. I want to make that a little bit darker and a little bit lighter. When you change your levels, you're just changing kind of the contrast and the input levels. So the darks and the lights. It works really well with just black and white. You can just go in real fast and change how everything's looking dark wise. I want to make that a little bit brighter. And I might even bring in like a flare to make it pretty bright up there. So I have one of those somewhere. Where is it at? Here it is. This is which one I like. Just gonna put that in there, make it real big. Then we're gonna screen it. Image adjustments, we want to make it not orange, we want to make it white. So I'm gonna turn the saturation off. And then let's make it big. And then we'll rasterize it so the computer doesn't crash on me. Alright, so we made that light flare level. Let's bring that out. That's just gonna add some lightness up there. I feel like it needs it. I also feel like this rip looks weird, so I'm gonna go to there. I'm gonna select that. Make a layer via copy. And then I want to wait. No, I want this. Excuse me. Just get it close enough. Layer via copy. Let's invert that. Go back actually. Select, save selection. Name it whatever. A. And then layer via copy again. And then let's go and cut that out. So select load selection A, which is what we just had, back on the grunge layer. Cut that so we can put it in front of that layer we just made, which is going to be our shadow. So we can put that there. Name it paper tail. Shadow. So let's take this. Invert it. Let's make it solid black. Or maybe white. Then let's blur it. Gaussian blur. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we will leave it. Just doesn't look that dark. Let's do this. flare is in the way. Forgot about that. Alright, so now that we got that in there, these are the originals. Print. So let's go in here and look at these scans. See if we got anything good that we can put in here. It's too much going on. Kind of like that. That might look good. So I'm gonna put that in there, rotate it. Let's get that one. Like this one, I think. Oh yeah. Rotate that. That's nice. This is the original as well. Get that in there. That's the scan of the original. I think I like that one better. Alright, now we got all these in there. That's nice here. I'm gonna take that real fast. So I'm gonna come even it out. Let's see if I can get this right here. I'm pretty much done with the poster. I'm pretty happy, satisfied with the way it came out, so pretty much just gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna do one more thing I wanted to show you. I opened up one of my old posters, number 65, Income Pasta. I just want to get these clips and put them, there they are, put them in the poster to give it another layer, I guess. So let's duplicate that in there, make a folder called clips. We'll move those all the way to the top, maybe make them a little bigger because you can't really see them. Make them some big clips. Maybe not that big. Then we'll just kind of line them up. Let's see. About right there. Just kind of eyeballing it. Looks a little too far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you didn't know, if you hold down shift while you move stuff, it moves it faster. I don't know. Maybe some of you know that, some of you don't. I'm gonna put this right here. I'm gonna move that one over. Maybe a little more. I feel like that's about right. Now I want to get this letter out of there. I have no clue where it's at. So as you can see, we have a lot of layers in here now. It's kind of what you have to do to build up the grunge. You just have to keep adding layers and layers and layers and layers. There it is. So let's move that over a little so you can see it. Might put it like right there. That way your eye starts right there when you read it. First look at it maybe. So let's go to clips, close the folder, duplicate that, merge those puppies together, and then let's turn that one off. We'll go to I'm going to show you how to make a shadow. Go to levels, move the slider all the way to the dark, and those should turn completely black. And then, so it's pretty much a shadow. And then turn that on like, however, depending how sharp you want shadow, I'll use like 30 to 60%. I'm going to put on 60 because you can't see that well. Then you go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Then just kind of, depending on how many pixels you have in there, it's going to be different. So the more pixels you have, the higher you're going to have to turn it up. So if I do it, it's going to be pretty close because the clips aren't going to be that far. So the closer the object, you want to make it a little sharper. So I'm just going to do probably like that. And then we'll put that behind that layer, the first layer, turn that back on. Then we can move that down a little. So the light's coming from the top left of the screen, because remember we put the solar flare in there. So if we move this down away from the light, and there we go. Maybe move it over a little bit more. So now it's got like kind of a shadow to it. See what it looks like if we gauzy and blur it one more time. I like it like that. I think that's perfect. Maybe make it a little bit more drastic. Maybe not. Right there, I think it's good. So, yeah. Let's look at this thing. I always like to put it in full screen mode at the end to get all that stuff out of there so you can just see it, how it's going to look on like Instagram or Behance or wherever you're going to put it. Yeah. I like it. And we can look at what we started with. I think this is it. Let's see if we can give this a background real fast, and I'll show you. And I think those are the... Oh, yeah, there you go. There we go. Let's get that above the clips. And this needs to go above the clips. Alright, so this is what we started with, what we printed out at the very beginning of the tutorial. Then we grunged it up, scanned it, and this is the final product. So you start with that, and then you can end up with that. And that was how I do it using analog and digital means. I'm probably going to make another video on how I do stuff just digitally. How I could make grunge stuff without using like the scanner and when we were doing the stuff by hand. I'm going to make a video of how I do stuff without that, just digital. So this is the final product. Original, final. You can zoom in. So yeah, I hope that helped some of y'all. I know I've got a couple requests on Instagram for people asking me how I do stuff, and I've made a few videos, but they've been going pretty fast, so I just wanted to make a kind of more in-depth tutorial. Shout out to Soul Juice Music and Memorex Memories. That's what we were listening to most of the time we were making the posters. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram at Visual Dreams to see my poster journey. I post almost every day. I'm not going to say I post every day because I don't, but pretty much every day. And that's VISUAL_DREAMZ. So you can find me on there. And like I said, I'm going to try and make another video soon of how I make stuff just digitally and make it look like it's analog. So stay tuned for that. Hope you like the video. Click like if you liked it. Send me a message if you have any questions about how you do something or what I did. And yeah, just like the video. Comment any questions. Send me a message. Whatever. Thanks, guys.